Welcome to this brief overview of the filing system on the Kahuna Maverik. So what I'm going to do on the touchscreen, I'm going to go down here and go to the up arrow. So I hit this a few times, go up. So that brings me to the top. And I'm currently in project 80. And what I'm going to do is just save a switcher state of the mixer. So I'm just going to hit override here and call it a name. And we'll just say Sunday. And hit enter, or I can just hit save here. If I go to the load here, you'll see it's got engineering, user, IO, and panel config, which are the four main areas of the mixer. It's also saved a snapshot gmem, and it's saved all the stores. It's graying out the engineering config because you wouldn't want to necessarily load that straight in. You have a choice to select it or deselect it. I'm not going to load that in yet. Or if I go over here, this is a rolling memory of 99 saves. So if I just select that and hit load, it's the exact same, but it just displays differently. Again, the engineering config is grayed out. So what is a project on the Kahuna Maverik and the Kula mixers? Well, a project is, if you think of it as a master file. So in my master file, for example, 80 here, I have 6 snapshots, 13 dmems, 2 gmems, 70 stills, and 25 macros. So it's a master file that you're operating in. And if you're in any of these system menus down here, you will always see the project selected on the right-hand side. So if I go back to my filing systems, in my project, the first thing to look at is you've got snapshots and dmems. Very similar. In fact, they're the exact same. They both save the state of the MEs. If you think about it, the way I look at it really is snapshots I usually use for short-term stuff, maybe a quick 2-box or something I'm saving. Dmems are more of a show in the sense that I might be making a show for, long-term. I might be making the morning show or the evening show or lunchtime show. So that's where I'd save that. So it's basically snapshot and dmem are the same. They both save the MEs. If you think of dmem as a district memory, then we move on to gmem, which is a global memory, which saves the whole mixer and all the stills. If we go down here, shortcuts, save load pad, and we're in gmem, dmem, gmem. So gmem's down the bottom. At the moment, we're in project 80, and we have everything here. We've got all our MEs selected, and we've got some of our stores selected. My suggestion to you would be to make 3 gmems. So for example, I might make 100, and I might save the whole mixer, which is the MEs and the stores. I might move on to 102, and I might say, well, actually, I don't need anything else. I'll turn off the stores, and I'll save that down there. And then I might go to the next one, 103, and I might say, well, actually, I don't need the mixer, but I do want my stores. So that would mean later on, I could independently load in my gmems 101, 102, and 103, depending on what I need. I would normally only use gmems at the beginning of the day or to load up a setup. I would not use them on air. I would not be familiar with using them or recommend using them on air, as if you're loading stores in, it might take quite a few minutes to load in the stores, depending on how many stores you have. Moving on to dmems. So if we select dmems up here, a dmem will save the whole setup on the mixer. At the moment, we've got the background transition. We can select keys that we want to save. I might, for example, save this into 10 because it's ME1, and 20 for ME2, and 30 for ME3, and so on. The standard one I would save would be turn off the cross points. You can see this has gone brown because I've just turned it off. It's off its default. If I hold on it, it'll go back to being green. So if you take anything off in the enables, it'll go brown for you on this menu. So I would normally save a setup like this. I'd have my keys set up, but they would not be on. And I would have the cross point hold off, or sorry, on program and preset. It'll be turned on, so you're actually not going to call up anything. So then I'd save that down to 10. And I know if I recalled 10, then I wouldn't call any of my I wouldn't change what's on air. I'd still be on air, but I'd just be resetting the mixer back to its default value. The other thing to do is when you're loading in DMEMS, you have an option to use effects dissolve. So if I had a 2 box, I might save my first one on 11, clear that, save 11, and I put effects dissolve on. And then on 12, I put effects dissolve on. I'll zoom the box in or out, and it's just purely a way of moving between one setup and the second setup. So it's moving from the DMEM state on 11 to the DMEM state on 12. But effects dissolve needs to be saved when you're saving down your DMEM.